It was on the cards for some time, and it finally did happen on Tuesday, August 16, 2022. The World Football Governing Body, FIFA, has suspended India's football governing body, the All India Football Federation, for the first time in its 85-year history. In a statement made public, FIFA said, "The Bureau of the FIFA Council has unanimously decided to suspend the All India Football Federation with immediate effect due to undue influence from third parties, which constitutes a serious violation of the FIFA statutes." Now, the origin of the FIFA ban saga began for AIFF on May 18, when the Supreme Court forced out the then AIFF President Praful Patel for not holding elections that were due in December 2020. The court then appointed a 3-member committee of administrators to manage the AIFF affairs, also framing the federation's constitution in line with the National Sports Code and model guidelines. Now, this was in direct violation with the FIFA statutes that state its member federations should not be subject to legal or political interference of any kind in their respective countries. The FIFA, however, didn't straight away impose a ban on India. A joint FIFA and AFC Asian Football Confederation team was sent to monitor the situation in the country's football system on a 3-day visit. The concluding statement from the team read, "The next steps should be the ratification of the AIFF statutes in line with the FIFA AFC principles of good governance and the holding of an electoral congress to choose the next AIFF leadership." The AIFF state units expressed unhappiness over several of the clauses in the final draft constitution prepared by the COA, but said that they were willing to find a middle ground. The state associations, represented by a 7-member panel, wrote to FIFA saying that several of the clauses of the final draft were discriminatory and illogical. FIFA recommended the AIFF to have 25% eminent player representation in its executive committee as co-opted members instead of the 50% that was mentioned in the draft constitution by the COA. In early August, the Supreme Court told the AIFF Executive Committee to hold elections as per the schedule proposed by COA, which was then in charge of running the affairs of the National Federation, and declare the results by 28th or 29th August. 3 days later, FIFA threatened to suspend AIFF due to a third-party influence, which was closely followed by the COA filing a contempt petition against the ousted AIFF President Praful Patel for interfering with the proceedings of the Supreme Court, and the court warned the state units of exercising its power if Patel attended its meetings or tried to interfere. And finally, a day later, FIFA handed AIFF the suspension for undue influence from third parties. Now, what are the implications of the ban? Well, amongst the big ones, the national teams won't be able to contest on international stage. The Indian clubs won't be featuring in continental tournaments, including Gokulam Kerala FC in the AFC Women's Club Championship next week, and India will not be able to host the Under-17 Women's World Cup that is to take place in October this year. FIFA said in a statement that it is assessing the next steps with regards to the tournament and will refer to the matter of the Bureau of the Council if and when necessary. However, the tournament can come to India if the matter of suspension gets resolved in time. But how does it get resolved now? This is what FIFA said, word for word. The suspension will be lifted once an order to set up a committee of administrators to assume the powers of the AIFF Executive Committee has been repealed and the AIFF administration regains full control of the AIFF's daily affairs.